This is World Championships. It's going to be Gambit Gaming on the left up against Millennium here on the right. Two currently undefeated teams, currently 2-0 in their groups here in Group A on the first day for League of Legends here at IEM. And this should be an absolutely massive clash of two teams that just seem on fire at the moment. My name is Patriotime, and I'm going to be joined by Papa Smithy Papa. We had to skip a game there, unfortunately. We could not bring Pain vs LGIM due to a slight error there in terms of communication. But we've been rewarded with this game, I suppose, for our patience. And what a game it's going to be.
And we've logged into the first all victors clash here, and we're definitely seeing a target ban coming here. The Nunu. It was I'm So Fresh as the jungle Nunu. Was doing massive work last game for Millennium. Gambit had a game off. They were able to watch, and clearly they thought, hey, not liking this Nunu.
No, I mean, we kind of talked a bit in the pregame. The only ban I thought was probably a short, apart from that one that just happened there, which is Fizz going into the ban pool there as well. They do not want tabs on that fish. He is very well known for his Fizz play. Xinjiao, of course, banned here as well, but I do expect a Thresh ban on the Millennium side here, just because both teams have shown their competence with that champion. Millennium know how much Gambit Gaming love that Thresh, and there we are. Gets the respect there as the second ban out for Millennium.
Be interesting to see if Gambit Gaming go with one of their recent style choices, like a Volibear, for example. There's already been some Volibear this tournament and in many recent tournaments, and Diamond's shown some great finesse on that champion. But the Fizz ban is an interesting one, just because some teams have kind of been leaving it up and trying to bait the pick and then choose a Darius or 1v2 the lane or do something different. Fizz, I mean, Tabs is the Fizz. Tabs is the guy who popularized him. He is the most respected. But wow, Darian thinking about picking up Ashe first pick here.
Yeah, I mean, they've banned out kind of the Gambit Gaming special here, have Millennium. They've got Thresh out there, so Edward won't play that. Xinjiao Renekton, a very potent combo that Gambit Gaming kind of showcased to the world recently, that they've also banned out here. And then a Kayle ban, just a very sensible ban here on this particular patch. Kayle is very strong in 3.02, which is the patch we're currently playing on. And Shen here instead is going to go as the first pick. A little bit more recognizable as the first pick, I suppose. Ashe would have been a big statement from Gambit, but they're going to give Darian Shen.
Yeah, he played it to fantastic effect on the first game on the B stream here, just bullying out his opponent and doing fantastically, so why not stick with it?
Sure, it's just a general strong pick. It's something he's known for and can be very versatile, has a lot of utility in a way, does Shen. He does one thing very uniquely, and you can set up a lot of cool stuff with it. Kha'Zix's now going to go over, and Volibear here for Diamond as well. They had a Rumble. And
these are all picks that have brought them success recently in the case of Gambit Gaming, and very recently in the case of Millennium. Rumble and Varus 2 pickups they had in that last game. Might see the Blade the Ruined King come out on Varus once against here. And remember, we are on 3.02. This is not the current live Blade the Ruined King.
No, it is not the hot fixed one, and it's not the super crazy one. It's neither of those. It's the one before all that, actually, on the patch just before the one that's on live. But
it's all very confusing, but it doesn't have any attack speed. It has a bit more AD, and the active scales on AD rather than the enemy's health.
Yeah, people are still building it though, to be fair. Like, it's not really slowing down here despite not being nearly as good as people thought it was before it got hotfixed on live. So, kind of interesting to see so many people still building it. But hey, why not? It was picking up speed a little, I felt, before it kind of became the league of Blade of the Ruined King. And then once they changed it, it just... silly things happened, as you all know, and it's been hotfixed for a reason, as we get Wukong here. And Lee Sin as the third and fourth picks potentially from Millennium. Oh, Lulu instead.
No, I could definitely see Wukong coming out of here. Tabs has actually been playing a lot of Wukong. He does like those kind of, I won't say meta-breaking, but definitely the offbeat choices in the mid lane. Wukong's actually a fantastically strong mid laner because he has that range to harass with the E. He's able to get away from ganks quite well with his... decoy ability, the W, and you know, he can get levels and farm quite easily in mid, and then that ultimate, I mean, the base damage itself is incredible. So if he can get safely navigate himself to around level 11, teamfight presence is amazing for Wukong.
Yeah, Wild Growth, not a bad combo with Wukong either, and they have picked Lulu in here as well instead of Lee Sin, who they're also considering. A brief appearance of Mordekaiser, but only briefly, as Genja picks up Misfortune, and they're thinking about a support here, but looks like they are going to go for another Edward special. He's going to be Sona, I think. Yes, there it is. Probably, I would almost say his best known champion is Sona.
A champion he was in love with for a long time. There was quite the torrid romance there, but has stopped playing her, which is interesting to see her back on there.
Yeah, well, I mean,
back on the wagon.
He's been playing Thresh and doing other things, and you know, he's like, oh well, they took Lulu, I guess I'll pick Sona. And he's back and ready to go.
Two masters of poke in the bot lane.
Yeah, I think Lulu has a slight edge there, but it's pretty minimal in that bottom lane. And Varus as well, definitely outpokes Misfortune, so there's going to be a lot of stuff going on there. And it looks like they did want Lee Sin after all. They just decided they wanted Lulu instead, which makes sense if you want to take Lulu away from Edward.
As you were pointing out, the synergy between the Wukong ultimate and being able to knock everyone up a second time and Empire slowing aura, just too much for them to miss out on there. So they weren't hiding the Lee Sin pit, they just thought, hey, let's take it away from Gambit Gaming.
Yeah, they didn't think Lee Sin was going to get picked here given the picks that GG had already taken, so makes sense to just, hey, this is potentially a contested pick, we do want this synergy, we'll pick it up now. And yeah, that's going to be Wukong mid, Rumble top, Lee jungle, and Varus Lulu bottom lane, I say tentatively. They'll be somewhere together. Which lane?
Basically, there's AoE slows all over the shop for Millennium here.
Yeah.
The Rumble Equalizer, the Tempest Cripple from Lee Sin. I mean, the Wukong ultimate knocks out. Varus has both an AoE slow and, of course, the ultimate that spreads a stun, and Lulu has AoE slows abound, 2 of them. So a lot of space control once again from lane. That seems to be the calling card in both games, has been space control.
And that's honestly something that isn't really explored enough, in my opinion, in competitive League of Legends. It's just, for whatever reason, it's just not... It's a bit of the game that hasn't really been fleshed out fully by a lot of teams. And it's refreshing, actually, to see a team of Millennium's caliber actually be like, you know what? This is actually... All these things make sense. I mean, for me, part of Rumble's renaissance into the game is people just realizing how powerful his ultimate is in terms of controlling space, particularly. I mean, forget all the other cool stuff you can do with Rumble, like super crazy long-range initiations and all the other shenanigans. But just the fact that Rumble's ultimate does something very powerful and very unique... It just makes him such an awesome champion to watch. And we saw a very similar comp like this from Millennium, dismantle Fnatic there. Gambit Gaming, you know, they're a very similar caliber of team to Fnatic. It'll be interesting to see if they can hold anything off here. Before I forget, by the way, I must turn colorblind mode on, because I got yelled at for not doing that. Because my silly self changed it in the live and not in the spec mode. There we go, that's all turned on. Thanks. Apologies to anybody who is colorblind. Hopefully now that's all better for you, but yes, my bad from the last game there. Sadly, I can only change it in-game as well, which makes it even more frustrating. But we are here now. Gambit Gaming on the left, the blue side again for them. They have won the coin toss. Millennium on the red side here for this one. Going to move out, looking for probably some aggressive warding here to start things off. Kick actually hits onto Diamond, and there's a pink ward put into that bush just above the red buff. So that's kind of an interesting ward there, but they clearly want a lot of vision, exclusive vision, in fact, of that area. And as expected, as is quite common at level 1, they're going to get in as 5. Show a bit of aggression, ward, and then get out. So it's really just to make sure they have vision over the areas they want to in the early game.
Interesting, no pink ward available for Edward here, so no ability to counterpick there. I mean, not that they necessarily knew the color of the ward put down, but they know that there's no way they can take away the vision around their Wraith camp.
No, I mean, he's got a couple of sight wards. He's actually got a Fairy Charm. In fact, he has maybe not that many sight wards. He has 5 health potions, so I think Edward's going to be showing some trademark aggression here. Oh, that's unfortunate. Wants vision of the same place, but yeah, that was a pink ward, and Kraton's going to pick up the first CS of the game, actually, before minions spawn. That's very powerful.
That was the Explorer ward, though, Pastry Time, so, you know, in terms of trades, in terms of sacrifices, a smaller one than necessary.
It's still cool that he's up a CS, but double golems here going to make that very nice for Genja, as is often the case on the blue side. The double golems are pretty powerful. Looks like Diamond here going to start Wolves Blue, pretty standard there. Lee Sin doing the same. And looks like no lane swaps actually. We're going to start everything about as normal as we can have them. We're going to have 4 people bot, Wukong here mid against Kha'Zix, and a Rumble up top against Shen.
I think in terms of the mid lane here, it's going to be a mad rush to get level 2, pop that red part, and try and all in, I think. And then after that, a bit more of a relaxed lane. In fact, most of these lanes are quite even, but very, very strong ganking junglers here. So, as always, look to the jungle to really meet the impact here.
Yeah, especially early game. Junglers have a lot to say about what happens in the early stages of the landing phase. Many trades going here. I think level 2 is going to decide a lot here. Tabs knows he's hitting 2 as well. He wants to go in. He's thinking about popping the red pop, but he doesn't hit 2 in time, unfortunately. Not able to follow up with Crushing Blow, just the Nimbus Strike, and there finally hits level 2. Alex Hitch, though, he knows it. Red pot's already been popped for him. Still in the inventory here for Tabs. We keep a close eye here. Down the bottom, actually, we've got Shenanigans. Kraton's taking a lot of damage. Exhaust there. Bad use there as well. Genja could find himself baited, but Fat Mama now in a lot of trouble. Edward tries to get under the turret, but a great slow there from Lulu. And shockingly in bottom lane, everybody gets out with very little health. In fact, Kraton has less than 10 health as I click on him there and they go to recall. But
the one thing that's interesting here is because of the 5 health pod start, Edward can pop those health potions and they can keep the lane presence and stay in lane longer. They are able to push in and gain a slight CS advantage here.
And Tabs in the mid again, now going for it at level 3. Alex did show some good trades. Red Pot's still here for Tabs. He really wants to bait Alex here if he can. In fact, Tabs going back in. There's the Red Pot being popped. Crushing Blow goes down as well. And I'm So Fresh very close to coming in there and almost picking up Kha'Zix. But again, a lot of very aggressive trades early on. Net no kills to start things off as Diamond is now coming in looking for Tabs, who's going to get very swiftly out of here.
If people were wondering what was happening with that level 1 trade that Tabs had to flash out of, it was a case of both champions going in probably 1 minion away from 2, and the Tabs hoping that his AoE would in fact be enough to get him that level 2 advantage. It didn't come to be. He saw creeps falling low, had to flash out just because he knew that if Alexich had popped 2 there, he would have died himself. So it's one of those things where playing based on creep experience is definitely a fantastic adaptation to the game, but it's just so risky. It can go either way.
Yeah, Anguish now punishing Darian pretty hard now that he's hit level 3 and 4. Had a lot of good trades. They used his Ignite actually, but couldn't quite get the kill onto Shen. So he's got his rejuvenation beats. He's popped his last potion, so Shen is out of regeneration at this point apart from whatever he's got passively. And Rumble's going to try and be a bully here.
Volibear looking for a lane gank.
Diamond kind of knows that Anguish wants to be aggressive. There's a Shadow Dash coming up. Volibear activates his Ghost Area. He's coming in. Majestic Roll will miss there for the slow. And Rolling Thunder sadly wears out at just the last second. They are going to dive though. Anguish has to get out of the way if he can. Rumble to activate Scrap Shield. Diamond very low, but Darian there now taking a little bit too much turret damage. Will go down here to the turret. But a nice first blood there regardless. Will go to Shen there and they will trade kills in top lane as Diamond pushes.
And I imagine the reason why they went for that turret dive is because they knew that Rumble's Ignite was down, which lets, of course, Diamond pop his passive happily and take probably an extra turret hit, maybe even 2. And so that's why they went for the calculated risk. Didn't work out. The lanes actually reset in the middle, so no creep advantage to either top laner. Yeah. 1-for-1 trade.
Looks like Diamond a little bit afraid of Lee Sin there. Unfortunately could not push that wave. He would have loved to collect the CS and experience and of course push the wave there. But it looks like it's going to now push towards Shen's turret, which is nice. Very aware. Just presence of the lane there. And Shen at least is going to have creeps here for a little while, although it is going to probably reset after they go into the turret. So like pretty much a wash there. Volibear just missing out on a little bit of extra CS, unfortunately. Mid lane again, we've got action here that is going tooth and nail. Lots and lots of trades. Great decoy there from Tabs. Alex Itchy does fall for it. Nimbus Strike in there as well. And that trade just went in Wukong's favor. These two really want to kill each other. Level 6 is going to be absolutely massive here in the mid lane. And Tabs is...
having popped the red part later, he still had it active there, and he had that health advantage, but not enough to pick up kill.
Yeah, it's a good point. Now Crystalline Flask is up now for Alex. He's using his regen. He's got plenty of health potions, and down the bottom looks like Diamond just said hello, but nobody going to die there from Millennium. Everyone just playing safe. Only 2 kills despite all this action. You can tell both these teams really want to try and get in a foothold here in the early game. As Tabs in the mid, flashing red. As Lee Sin comes by again. And Alex with all that regen, I mean Tabs is forced back here. He's only got his boots left. But he's getting pushed in right now for Alex going in. Decoy gets activated there as well. And the Ignite is out onto the real one there. So Alex will go down. He gets ignited, but he's got just enough health left to live through that one. And a very calculated dive there from Alex Itch nets him a kill.
He just calculated that well. He ignited the right target, which of course is always a concern when it comes to Wukong's clone. And first advantage in mid to Alex Itch.
And now I'm So Fresh is like, well, I guess I'll collect this CS. He'll be able to push this in, thankfully. He's able to take this wave here. Push it into the turret, collect a bit of experience. Very close to level 6 actually as I'm So Fresh. So can have that ultimate come into play now for the jungle ganks. Top lane, we're still having a lot of action here. Darian now level 6. Doesn't really help him in lane unfortunately, but of course he can assist other lanes with that global presence. But Anguish, I mean he's about to hit 6. In fact he's just hit 6 there. You have to expect that Rumble, especially with Ignite back up, probably wants to try and kill Shen if possible. As I'm So Fresh doing a little bit of camping. Misses a Q there, unfortunately, onto Diamond, which I'm sure makes him giggle. He's a very well-known Lee Sin player. So,
they were trying to get that exclusive vision around Dragon. Potentially go for it, given 4 health potions and Magic's Razor completed on Lee Sin. But still very risky without the Wriggles or no lifesteal available. And, you know, the threat of the enemy jungler around, so they back away.
Yeah, just a little bit too early at this point. I mean, bottom lane now, Millennium pushing in. Kind of weird in the level department right now. I guess the fact that Gambit Gaming could stay early on after that very early trade meant that they're actually a decent few levels up here. Fat Mama's actually going in here, but Create and taking a little bit of damage from Genja, so everybody has to be careful. Looks like Lee Sin is on the dragon, by the way, so I'm So Fresh is clearly planning something, but he's going to have to back off as the rest of Gambit come in. And Genja still down the bottom. Fat Mama could be in trouble here as Diamond's gone forward. Rolling Thunder will run out just toward the end. Majestic Roll clips Lulu there, but she flashes out of range there to make sure she doesn't get flung back in. And still very tense here in this early game. There's not that much between these two teams, but now Gambit Gaming have a slight lead early on, but there are so many near misses in these trades. Oh man, this could be bad news. A Creator now forced to flash. Rolling Thunder though flips him over. Damage coming in there. Bullet time out as well. And Barrier not nearly enough to stop it as, surprise, surprise, Edward picks up the kill on Cerner.
Yeah, good camping from Diamond there. Profited from the advantage in vision. You can tell just how focused both teams are about vision here. 4 wards, a 5th one just expired in the tri-brush around Dragon, trying to look for that early advantage. I mean, both champions, actually both Lee Sin and Volibear, very good early junglers to pick up the Dragon. I mean, Volibear usually has to have the Madrids and a bit of luck to pick it up, but both of them have that potential, so that's why so many wards out. What
do you think of Diamond's Spirit Stone here, actually? Because you just mentioned that he usually wants Madrids to help him with the farm, but he's actually going for Majestic Roll Max, which is obviously AoE based. And
he really likes that Spirit of the Ancient Golem pickup, you know, which he could potentially transition to later. It gives him stats that he can use for repeated ganks with the health regen, you know, much like a Philistone would have in Season 2, so I mean, it doesn't help him clear as fast, but those regen stats can be very, very useful if you're roaming between lanes.
Yeah, that's true. Angoshir just poking Darien with Electro Harpoon. Darien, of course, on the way to a fast Warmox, because that's kind of how he rolls. Lee Sin is wasting a little bit of time here in top. We could even have 2v2 action as Diamond's rotating up as well. In fact, they're both brush camping here. I'm So Fresh looking to go in. Hits the Q actually, but doesn't go in. And probably lucky as well, because Diamond was itching to try and get a kill there. He's actually still here setting up for the counter gank. I think they're assuming Darien's going to get dived. And he'll be able to come in. If he's patient here, he could pay off, but looks like I'm So Fresh might be backing off.
Interesting style choice with I'm So Fresh is maxing the Tempest Cripple first, the E ability. And we saw Chaucer doing that in Season 3 as more trading comes down bottom. There's never really been an agreement as to what a max there is. I mean, Q max is very common, especially on mid Lee Sin. QW, oh wow, as we see pressure coming up top, will Diamond be able to get in here?
Yeah, Diamond finally pulling the trigger. He's out of Rolling Thunder, but there's the Majestic Roll. Massive slow out there on that one. And that's going to be a nice finish off there as Frenzy bites the Mech Warrior Rumble in the back of the... Oh, they're not pineapples, sadly. It's a pirate ship. As mid lane there, we finally have Tabs getting a kill. Although he goes down there diving under the turret, so... Bit of aggression there from Tabs. Nets him a trade, which is probably not what he wanted, but hey, he'll take it, I suppose.
And while they're trading, they're behind in kills, and they're significantly behind in CS. If you look at the CS values, Shen up on Rumble by 15. Alexich out-CSing his lane opponent with ease for a second game in a row, up 28 CS here, and 20 CS advantage down bottom. So things looking really, really good for Gambit Gaming early on here.
Yeah, I mean, the only actual CS advantage is Lee Sin. He's managed to collect about 15 over Diamond at this point. So he's been farming a little bit more, but you can't deny Diamond's pressure on the map. He hasn't always been successful with his ganks, but he's definitely helped out a couple of lanes here, leading them to having a slight kill advantage here as we just passed the 11.5 minute mark. I have to say that level of disparity in bottom lane was absolutely massive for a while there. Both Creatin and Fat Mama were still level 5 for quite a while there. Now managed to ding probably close to 7 at this point. 6.5 actually for Creaton. So clearly again, the Gambit Gaming bottom lane is really likes to deny whoever's down here, whether it be a 2v1 lane or just a standard duo lane.
I have to say it validates that 5 health potion start from Edward. It's an adaptation you don't see much. It's usually a fairy charm, a pink, 2 greens and 2 pots, or no fairy charm and just an extra pink and maybe even an extra green. But having 5 health potions gave them lane dominance early. They were the ones who were able to stay in lane longer, and it's led them to this point here. So very smart play and very nice adaptation from Edward.
Yep. Diamond now looking. Actually has a crystalline flask, interestingly. Apparently Spirit Stone was not enough regen. He wants extra. And looks like maybe think about Dragon, but instead going to go bottom lane Creator, and they're going to get stunned up. Majestic Roar in there, and there's the Rolling Thunder flip as he goes around. A Chain of Corruption will stop Genja for a short while, but Varus is already dead by the time that hits, and Gambit Gaming, again with Diamond's pressure and just a lot of really good mechanics, looking very strong here in the early game. Now maybe pick up Dragon at around the 13-minute mark to solidify that gold lead even more.
And we said both junglers are noted for their early aggression. Diamond has come across head and spade here. I mean, I'm so fresh choosing Diamond's former trademark jungler against him, and it seems like Volibear, you know, with that Rolling Thunder, with the regen, I guess, he doesn't have to go back to pick up extra mana. He doesn't need the blue buff. He's got so much regen that he can go from lane to lane with those Terra Rolling Thunder ganks.
Yep, and he's doing very well for his team. Currently, of the 6 kills that are on the board, Diamond's been involved in 4 of them at 2-0-2, so he's had a lot of involvement early on here on the map. I mean, 2 kills only spread out between 1 for Wukong and 1 for Rumble there, so a couple of solos here from Millennium with a kill each, but the gold is adding up fast here for Gambit Gaming. And what do you think the mid game looks like here at this point? I mean, Darian is slowly getting ahead of Rumble, which is usually a problem when Shen's ahead.
I mean, the big issue here is that we talked about the AoE space control team fight. It's not going to mean anything, and they're 5k gold down at 13 minutes. That is a massive amount here. And it's not from poor team fights, just due to superior laning here. I mean, the CS advantages in every lane show you that. So, although I really like what the team comp Millennium's put together, the jungle pressure is what's decided this match so far.
This item build from Genja, by the way, this feels very Genji-y to me. He has an Avarice Blade and a pickaxe.
So it's a verb now, is it?
Yes.
Genji?
Sure, why not? But
how would you define Genji?
Well, it's just he's known for his farming, and this is a very farm-heavy build. I'm assuming he's going for a fast Infinity Edge here with that pickaxe, but this kind of early Avarice Blade for a bit of extra gold just feels very Genji to me.
This is the 3 gold per 10 Avarice Blade, so definitely was slightly buffed, I believe, on this patch, or maybe the one previous to it. And look, if you can get away with it in lane, if you're not punished for picking up an item that only gives crit, go ahead and pick it up, because the money's there to be had. It's already netted him 203 bonus gold.
Yeah, MF just kind of, based on her abilities and general stats, she's actually pretty good early on, just so she has levels, and she's a good duelist, so kind of makes sense, you know, the MF can still do damage here without having to worry too much. Edward there with a great crescendo over the top as bullet time comes out, and Alex Hitch waiting there the whole time, and Genja yet again playing support, by the way. He's 0-4 right now with 2-0-2 Sona. Clearly the status quo has changed in bottom lane. Edward is like, look guys, I'm the carry now.
And I think he does that quite consistently, and the results speak for themselves. It doesn't seem to keep the team down at all.
No, Diamond here actually fighting another jungler in mid lane, and this could be bad news for I'm So Fresh. He kicks himself over the wall there to the Wraith camp, so he's able to get away from Volibear, but that was not a 1v1 he really wanted to take there. And Diamond going for a fast Aegis now, actually, after this Spirit Stone Crystalline Flower. So heavy regen, and now going straight for the the team-oriented item. I mean, it's cost-effective. It's going to make him pretty tanky for the cost, but of course, especially when it's upgraded to Bulwark, it's going to make it even better now for the rest of his team. So when they do start grouping, or even if they're just having more skirmishes, Diamond's presence is going to be even bigger now.
In case some of the viewers are wondering, when it comes to skill order here, Volibear, Diamond on Volibear, he's been alternating points between the W Frenzy and the Majestic Roar, with Majestic Roar as the priority. He used to do the same with QW on Lee Sin, so he definitely likes to split the difference there.
Yeah, fat mama, wrong place, wrong time there for that ward. Genja chasing him down here. Struck could actually kick in here, but there it is, and Lulu's probably going to have to flash. There it is, double up. Not quite completing its animation there, so will not hit Lulu, but thankfully it wasn't going to kill her. It's just even more aggression as Kha'Zix's going in now onto Varus. Creatin taking a ton of damage, a good chain of corruption actually to keep him alive. And Genja going to look for a double up. Would have been a nice one, possibly even a double kill, but not going to find it. But I mean, Gambit really just taking over this map at this point. I mean, the gold advantage is still ticking up for them, and apart from the fact that bottom lane's going well and all the lanes are going well, Kha'Zix is now roaming between the lanes and picking up kills every now and then. So things are going from bad to worse here for Millennium.
I mean, there was
Diamond could be in trouble here. Stand United, the Darian wants in. Gets kicked out though. Really smart play there from I'm So Fresh. Disengages the Volibear with Shen coming in before he teleports in, and realizes that they did not want to get in that dive anymore. So nice play there.
It feels like there were 2 lanes that were balanced on a knife edge, and they were bottom mid, and mid was decided by just a kind of over calculation by Tabs when he went for an all-in at level 1. Didn't hit that level 2, had to flash away. And down bottom lane, the picking up of the pots was a masterstroke and let Gambit open up at least a half to 1 level advantage throughout the laning phase here, and they've snowballed that really effectively with fantastic jungling performance from Diamond so far.
And Genja now a BF sword up. He does not have a pickaxe, but He seems to not care too much here. He's actually going very deep on Create, and there's the bullet timeout as well. Actually cleanses off the Ignite. There's Create and flushes forward. Volibear coming in there will clean up the kill, but Varus does pick it up on the Misfortune, and Tab's now looking for Edward. This could be very bad news for Sona. Diamond trying to save her, but cannot do anything about Nimbus Strike plus Crushing Blow. And Diamond's just going to have to hope he gets away here. Actually turns around for the slow, but Nimbus Strike comes in, but saves his Rolling Thunder for last. Kha'Zix's now coming around as well. This will be reset heaven for Alex right now, but does not want to fight the two healthier members of Millennium, and maybe he'll just wait here and try and pick off I'm So Fresh. Ooh, that Q missed. That pink one could be very strategically placed here. Diamond coming back in as well. There's actually out from Tabs, but they want Wukong. They ping onto him. The Rolling Thunder out now as well. Will it fling him over? Almost, yes it will, as it overrides the Nimbus Strike, but Alex has to get out here as Rumble comes in. So really, really nice presence here from Millennium to protect their teammates, but some very sneaky tricks there from Gambit Gaming almost paid off very, very nicely.
So, I mean, compared to last game, I mean, Gambit not able to open up quite the same mid-game advantage, but you have to think they're going to feel confident enough to try what they did last game. And it's actually been kind of the modus operandi in this tournament has been to aggressively ward the enemy jungle and kind of starve them out of buffs, experience, and objectives. And I have to think that's what Gambit's going to try and load up for here.
Well, if you kind of remember, that was actually what they were known for when they first came onto the scene. To be fair, it was a more aggressive version of that, but they were known for having superior map control. They were, you know, they were the counter jungle team. The team that started that whole thing, that Shyvana getting played constantly and subsequently nerfed. You know, this is something they're very comfortable with in terms of style, and it is interesting to see them not teamfight, because they also have very strong teamfight as a team, but apparently with Shen, maybe it's a Shen thing, but they seem to just like split pushing the lanes and taking control of the map. They're not as interested in fighting this 5v5. I mean,
that first game against Pain, I mean, the first team fight also led to the end of the game. Like, they literally finished the game off the first team fight. So it's whatever the strategy is, it's working for them.
Yeah, I mean, you get enough gold in the mid game, you're able to starve your opponent out. All you need is one very lopsided team fight, and you're kind of good to go. I mean, League of Legends is certainly a game about objectives. You can't argue that. Gambit Gaming is certainly playing for the objectives here. Red buff now getting stolen away. We'll see if Millennium want to respond here. 4 of them coming in now. Red quite low. Bullet time out in there. And who got the red buff? I think it might have been Alex. It was. So Kha'Zix there picking that one up. It's going to be good news for him. Millennium.
So I really am interested in the items picked up here. We see double Aegis picked up on Gambit by the 20-minute mark. And the interesting thing here is that Shen, Volibear, the dive buddies here, there's a lot of AoE damage and control that Millennium have, but with the double Aegis, with the stats stacking for the 2 people diving, they're going to be able to run through the equalizer, through any damage, and get into the back line.
Alex, this could be bad news for Lulu as Shen comes in there. There's Diamond actually picking up the kill onto Rumble in there as well. And that's a kill there for Alex. Gets the reset there, slows down I'm So Fresh, he kicks him out of the way. Tabs picks up Genta around the side, but that's 2 for 1. Gambit Gaming probably still comfortable going in here. Speaking of dive buddies, you mentioned it before, Shadow Dash hits at max range. I'm So Fresh going to go down. There's the reset for Kha'Zix, picking up a double kill there for Alex Itch. And Gambit Gaming, I mean, it's not quite the lopsided, you know, one team fight, but that was still a pretty one-sided affair as they trade 4 for 1. Happy to lose Genja. I mean, to be fair, he's the support this game, right? So they can lose him.
It's very interesting because this is not solo queue. There would have been clear discussion in team chat about Aegis here, and the double Aegis, given they've noticed that, hey, there's a lot of space control, we're going to have to wade through AoE damage. Let's have 20 armor, 30 magic resist, and 20 health regen each, and just grin and bear it and take that damage with all those resists and health. It's smart play and it's an adaptation.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Dragon goes down for Gambit Gaming, continuing to stretch their gold lead here. They've reached 10,000 plus gold in the lead at this point. Poor Millennium, they're still looking for their first tower in this game, let alone they're hurting for a few more kills, not to mention just general objectives. Alex Itch goes in on to create him, takes him around to around about half health. Kha'Zix actually looking quite scary despite not having all that much in the way of damage items, so I can't imagine this gets any better for Millennium if Alex is doing that much damage without any major damage items.
And he's certainly not rushing towards damage items, he's in fact rushing around on his Omen here. We have 3 auto attackers on the Millennium side, and Randuin's Omen is the perfect pickup there, and it's also the AoE slow that can potentially be profited from.
I guess Tabs, on the other hand, is also playing an AD caster of sorts. He's going for Black Cleaver here as his first item, and you kind of noticed in teamfights, he got Genja the last time, but he's just way too squishy, and Alex has clearly gone for a bit more of a bruisery build here. going for that fast Randuin. So, I mean, Tabs, if he sticks onto a target and they can get a quick kill, then it's possibly worth it. But Gambit Gaming, with the lead they have, not looking to go anywhere with it. And Runic Bulwark is now finished up for Shen. It's likely going to be finished for Volibear soon, but Diamond has a little bit of ganking to do before then. Apparently, he's actually setting up in top lane now. And I don't think Anguish is enjoying this game very much. He's not really gotten it going, unfortunately, as Rumble.
The front line for GG have built incredibly tanky and already shown they have the damage to take out the back line here. The back line of Millennium definitely weakened with Rumble and Creaton both well held, so it's just a case of them saying, alright, well, we don't quite have the damage to trade, you know, it's not going to be a 1v1 fight, it's going to be a double dive situation, and the dive combo from Gambit is massively strong.
Here comes Diamond. Oh, misses the flip, but there's a Shadow Dash. Finally flips Anguish there over the top, and they're going to dive here. They've got so much health, and oh my goodness, that dive was filthy. Darien just tanked a million turret shots, and he's barely too low there. Stand United now actually coming in onto Alex, who's a little bit too low, creating, trying to get out there. Alex really wants to get him, picks up Void Assault there, and picks him off with a Void Spike. Fat Mama now trying to chase him out, but Darien still alive there, tanking. I'm So Fresh finally goes down to Lulu, and now Diamond stuck in the middle of it. Genja coming up as well. Alex Hitch returning to the fray. They're doing the damage to tap. The great wild growth in there from Lulu, but it's not quite enough. Their Kha'Zix will go down, so that's 500 extra gold to Tabs, but Genja gets the kill there onto Wukong, finally picking up a few kills, and looks like Fat Mama's going to be able to get out of the way now with a well-placed Glitter Lance. But I mean, these trades are totally fine for Gambit Gaming. They're still trading up. That was 4 for 2. And a tower probably here in top as well.
And while Blade the Ruin King on this patch, it's not the same as live, it's still a very strong item against health stackers. There's no one that Creaton can really freely auto-attack here who's going to fall to the damage that he's doing right now. The Randuin's pick up on Kha'Zix. The Randuin's is definitely, on whatever patch, this present patch, the live patch after hotfix, is the strongest choice against Blade the Ruin King because it reduces the enemy's attack speed and provides effective health and armor, so a very strong pickup there. And I mean, Shen and Volibear are just massively strong here, so they can dive aplenty, and I don't think that Wukong and Rumble have the damage to deal with that situation.
No, there's, I think, about 6,000 health between Darien and Diamond right now as Shadow Dash hits there onto Anguish. No follow-up's going to just mean a bit of annoyance there for Rumble, but Gambit Gaming still keeping the pressure on. Edward's doing what he can here with a ton of pink quads around the Baron pit. Decides the Oracles is too expensive, but wants to keep as much vision as he can here. So Gambit Gaming definitely a Baron on the brain. Genja here in mid could find himself Wukonged in a second, but he's staying at distance here against Tabs. Interestingly, he has finished his Bloodthirster on Misfortune. So Black Cleaver no real wear in sight at this point, but I could have sworn he was going to finish an Infinity Edge.
So Baron's aggressed on here, no direct ward coverage from Millennium, but they'll start smelling a rat right about now.
Yeah, Darien buying a lot of time though, takes out the top turret as minions finish the job for him, and tanking a ton of damage. Many red pings on the Baron though. Millennium, though, they've got to be careful. There's a crescendo up from Stoner. Tabs here, taking quite a bit of damage. Chain of Corruption comes in there as well. The poke out on Varus, trying to do the damage there as Tabs gets out of the way of Genja, who can't quite find the last few autos. I'm So Fresh does pick up the kill there onto Sheng with Rumble's help. And Gambit Gamer actually trying to finish Baron here before anything bad happens. Wukong's coming out, and they don't quite have the health left to tank Baron. So effective fight there from Millennium. They definitely get a win there with 1 free kill, and they keep GG off Baron. But then it
didn't seem to be a clear choice from Gambit between going on to Baron and fighting. And
oh, Kha'Zix, this is going to be clean up city. Alex gets polyed there mid-leap. Really nice play there from Lulu. But Alex is still on there. I'm So Fresh, he's trying to fight Lee Sin. Diamond there picks up Lulu as the rest of gaming hang around just long enough to make it matter. I'm So Fresh, what?
Wonderful play from Alex Hitch there. If you would miss that fight, he managed to jump away from I'm So Fresh's Q and finish him up. The Randuins came up trumps. Wonderful outplay by Alex Hitch.
And the reward Baron buff for all that outplay. Yeah, I don't even know. I saw it happen and my eyes popped out of my head. I don't know what Alex did there, but I'm So Fresh has got to feel pretty grumpy about that situation. And yeah, there is no other word for that than outplayed. I'm sure if it was in the rules, Alex would type it in chat. But this is IEM, this ain't solo queue. And Gambit Gaming looking to continue their undefeated record here.
The Blade of the Ruin King stacking actually coming out from Millennium here. We see Lee Sin's picked up one. Very squishy Lee Sin build here. In fact, I mean, the Giant spelled up on Rumble, the Shirelli is completed, and the Giant spelled up on Wukong, but no completed tank items compared to double Bulwark, a Randuin's, a Warmogs, and a Giant spell. Like, there's no question that Gambit Gaming are far, far tankier here, but I don't know if the Blade of the Ruined King's the solution.
You know, when there's 2,500 gold between the two junglers in Volibear's favour, just as a kind of a quick glance at how that's going in terms of matchup. Alex Itch in the top lane, Randy and Zero into Anguish, probably going to get the kill. Stand United in from Darian. Tabs trying to do what he can. The Equalizer doing lots and lots of damage here to Kha'Zix. Leaps out of the way though. Tabs can't quite chase him down. In fact, has to be careful of Darian as he Nimbus strikes out to a creep. But Darian going to chase him down, possibly even get the kill there. Tries to stop Juke him, but does manage to decoy around there. Now Nimbus strikes out as Lulu comes in. In fact, Darian, though, not having any of that. There's the wild growth, but still kills him through the extra health. And Kha'Zix coming back in now. Fat Mama is looking very, very vulnerable as I'm So Fresh looking to get onto Alex. So blocked Q there from Shen comes out, but the shutdown finally goes out onto Kha'Zix as I'm So Fresh is able to pick it up. But Darian just doesn't care at all. He is the Honey Badger Shen as Diamond Prox goes legendary down the bottom lane picking up Varus. But Darren is still looking here. He might get 2 kills out of this Fat Mama. Getting low. I'm So Fresh coming back around. They're trying to kite him back and forth. There's the poly add on to Shen. But Darian still mad moding it up. Has way too much health there. He's still fighting I'm So Fresh. We'll get the kill there. And Lulu's like, oh goodness gracious me. And Darian, is he going to dive here? Is he manly enough? Rumble here. Maybe he's going to make it not so. But Volibear's coming up the side now. So Diamond Prox looking to get the kill that he could not quite finish. Roams all the way from bottom lane after getting a kill. And just escorts Darian out there. But goodness gracious me. Gambit Gaming, even though they're making little mistakes, it just doesn't seem to matter all that much, and they're still very, very far ahead in this game.
I guess the thing that surprised me most about Lee Sin's build here is that when you're behind as a jungler, you usually choose to go for tanky items so that you can still stay alive in a team fight and use the CC your kit affords. And Lee Sin obviously a bundle of CC in his kit, but damage when you're behind is always risky.
Yeah, Tab's going in. He actually uses Cyclone to knock up Genja and Diamond. Genja with GA cleanses off the Ignite there, so he doesn't die, but does actually die to a bit of extra damage. And Genja, I think, probably going to die. He gets exhausted after the res, and yeah, goodbye. That's going to be many, many members of Millennium on top of your face. And Diamond just like, yeah, sorry, dude. Nothing I can do. But they might still...
Stand United not available for another 30 seconds or so.
Alex Hitch wants Bloods. Sees Lulu. It's like squishy support. Fling back there from Rolling Thunder. And Wild Growth. I mean, a good try there from Lulu to buy a bit of time, but pretty much a wasted ult there. There was no real way Lulu was getting out of that one, and Alex Hitch continues to ravage through people. Now finished up Blade of the Ruined King and Muramana, plus the Brutalizer as damage items in top lane. Now Darian still tanking all the turret hits there, as Alex Hitch comes in to collect his kill from Shen.
Just so many skirmishes here. It hasn't been straight out team fights, just people all over the map fighting. And I mean, almost a 20,000 gold lead for Gambit Gaming here. They can afford to take some risks. They can afford to take some bad engages. They're that far ahead.
And the thing is, they have, you know, they've made some trades here and there, but they've come out on top every single time. I don't think they've traded evenly for at least 15 minutes. Maybe not at all this game as a red buff gets stolen away there as well. But yeah, we saw they were creeping up. They were about 4,000 5,000 gold ahead, then 10, then 15, and now close to 20,000 gold as we approach the 31-minute mark. Is pretty absurd here for Gambit Gaming. And I mean,
you say the word absurd. Have a look at Darian's items here.
Where is Darian? He's a Trinity Force, doesn't he?
No,
he has Nash's Tooth. Never mind.
He had a Zeal, and then he had some gold and thought, hey, Nash's Tooth. And maybe that's a product of being way ahead, but I mean, AP does affect Shen's shield and his Q and his W, in fact, so he does have some AP ratios all across the board. Then the AP ratio very healthy on his ultimate, I believe it's a 1.5 ratio. Cooldown reduction, I mean, it lets him stand United more often. I can see the idea there. It's interesting, but I'd be very surprised if he built that in a less than even game.
Yeah, Tabs is going in actually onto Darian, but Darian's just man-moding him here. I'm So Fresh coming in as well. Shen will fall there, and sadly just couldn't save himself. As Tabs...
National's Tooth has been getting more play. I mean, we've seen Diana's all over the shop build up National's Tooth.
Oh no, that ward missed that bush. That's not good news for I'm So Fresh. Gets flung back there after the safeguard to the ward. Flashes out, just manages to kick Diamond out of the way, but Edward coming in now uses that crescendo to stun him up, and Diamond will happily tower dive here as Volibear. Doesn't even need to frenzy. Just attacks him in the face as Kha'Zix gets a kill. Tabs there picks up the counter kill actually. As Creatin goes down for Alex Hitch. Diamond getting slowed up by Electro Harpoon. Tabs in and out now with the decoy going on to Genja. Fat Mama with a great wild growth there on Wukong, but it's still lots and lots of damage here coming out. Fat Mama actually getting the kill there onto his fortune as the dust settles. Edward now could be some problems. Great Randy on Zoman there from Diamond, and Edward flashes over the top as well. Diamond may be able to save his teammate here, and Edward's just running as far away from Wukong as he can possibly get. Diamond now trying to 1v2. Wants to kill onto Lulu. Thinks if that happens, he can maybe 1v1 Rumble. But even if he dies here, as he does get the frenzy kill there onto Lulu, chasing onto Rumble as well, but decides better of it. That was a fantastic round to Zoom in there by Volibear.
And take a deep breath, pace your time, because there has been non-stop skirmishing for what feels like an age in this game.
Yeah, it's just been back and forth, but every little team fight, I mean, it's very reminiscent of how they used to play. You know, they invaded a lot, they took a very strong hold of objectives, and they were really, really good in 2v2 or 3v3 situations. They were really good at skirmishes. And, I mean, that hasn't changed from Gambit Gaming. You know, they're a very experienced team. They've had a lot of wins, a lot of practice, especially here at the Intel Extreme Masters, and looking stronger than ever here with just, as you said, barely a 5v5 team fight in sight. In the 2 games we've seen them.
From a Millennium perspective, I mean, if you're behind, trading kills is fine. They're obviously not getting 1-for-1 trades here. They're usually 1-for-2, 1-for-3. But what they are doing is they're preventing Gambit Gaming from finishing the game ostensibly. They're forcing fights. They're getting some passive gold in. They are picking up gold. They really want to pick up a spree, especially Volibear has Diamond's got a 500 gold spree well underhand, being about quadruple legendary at this point. They want to try and just delay the game. By skirmishing, they are doing that, but they can't afford to have too many more poor trades or they will get pushed down and lose this game.
Yeah, if they kind of die in a bad spot, they're going to lose all, if not most of,
now,
not all
no
of their
Baron
base.
Vision whatsoever. Yeah.
Just destroying Creaton. There's a chain of corruption. Almost hits on the Volibear. Great equalizer by Rumble as well, but Diamond, he's going deep. Alex Hitch throwing out the Void Spike. Millennium actually doing Baron here, interestingly, so they're trying to buy time, but Alex destroys Lulu as Fat Mama goes down. But Millennium, they're still finishing this Baron. And if Gambit Gaming checked it at the right time, Diamond, oh goodness gracious me, this is bad news for I'm So Fresh. Majestic roll out there for the slow. Power Chord stacked on there as well. Tab is coming out. Great crescendo from Edwards. He stacks both of them. But the rest of GG have disappeared. Genji's down at Dragon as Stantinata comes in there onto Edwards, sorry. And they're still trying to fight back and forth. Tabs gets Shadow Dash there as Sono jukes back and forth into the brush. And Rumble just demolished there by Kha'Zix. And even in what looked like a 4v5 with Millennium trying to do a sneaky Baron. Oh man, Carrion goes over the top there. He's chasing I'm So Fresh. Decides that he can happily 1v1 here. Good Q there from I'm So to get out of the way though. Shadow Dash again over the top. That Natural's 2 cooldown reduction as Safeguard happens again. We're playing ping pong right now here in the base. And I'm So Fresh is waiting. He's like, what's going on? I don't have vision. And you know what? It probably doesn't matter because Gambit Gaming are going to finish, I think, their second Baron of the game.
Darian and I'm So Fresh are playing a separate game from everyone
They
else.
are. They're playing Pong. Looks like I'm So Fresh. No, he's not going to get out yet. Darian's going to find him again. Hey, buddy, how are you? Oh, no, misses the wolf. I think he's dead. Kicks him out of the way. And Genji's here as well. He's going to collect his kill. Not Darian.
Genji didn't look like he wanted to interrupt that party, but he had to come in the end.
I think Ignited is... No, it was Shinzignight, excuse me. But yeah, Genji was like, alright, just to make sure he dies, I'll come. And GA's actually back up already for Misfortune, which is good. And you can see just the creep waves right now. Pretty much all of the waves here for Gambit Gaming pushing up towards the inhibitor turrets or whatever turret they're currently up to. Just masses and masses of creep waves right now. And Gambit Gaming, they've pretty much got everything they need to just win this game. Apparently they haven't decided they wanted to win yet. But they're still looking in a very strong position to do so.
Let's do a bit of mathematics here.
Sure.
There's a 24,000 gold lead for Gambit Gaming here. That sounds like a really big number, does it not?
It's a pretty large number, yeah.
Let's do some more mathematics. Rumble's total gold, if you add Varus and Lulu to it. In fact, if you add Varus and Lee Sin to it, 3 members' gold doesn't add up to 24k.
Ouch. His inhibitor goes down there in the middle.
That's a lot of gold.
Correct. I mean, Gambit Gaming, they've carved themselves out a massive advantage. You're right that Millennium are delaying the game to a point where they could possibly win, but they have to push this game for CLGU style, who aren't CLGU anymore. I guess
needs
they
to
were
be
at
in
the time.
a CJ Blaze style 3 inhibitors down, farm, and get that gold lead down. There becomes a point when the gold lead's not important. 25k at 30 minutes is not that time at all.
It's going to take about 25 minutes for that point to happen, I think.
I don't think Gambit's been having fun. And,
yes.
They're going to stop having
Creaton.
fun soon and finish the game.
Nice kick there from I'm So Fresh, but Edward's like, my kill, please. I am the carry. I'm So Fresh now in a lot of trouble. And does manage to get out, thankfully. Safeguards away to angle shoot ults.
But look what's happening up top lane.
Yeah, people are pushing in. Alex could die here. Sanchin out of there from Darian. He's coming in, so now 3v3 down the bottom lane. Wild Growth out there from Lulu. Tabs goes invisible, trying to go into Alex. The Polymorph out as well, but Kha'Zix sleeps out of the way. And now the fight is on still. Tabs will go down here as Sona picks up yet another kill. Fat Mama in trouble as Rumble did manage to chase down Alex Hitch, but as you said, yeah, Gambit Gaming, or at least 2 of them, They're busy. Edward picked up a double kill. Esterna continues her reign of terror here in this game, but Millennium, they are done here. Gambit Gaming, I don't even think there was one 5v5 team fight in this game. Apparently that's their new thing. They just don't like team fighting, but Gambit Gaming continue undefeated here in the group stage, 3-0. And Millennium, they took a great win against Fnatic on the main stage, but